Hey guys, so I am coming to you with a brand new camera system that I've never been able to use before, and I'm super excited. So right now I am shooting on the Olympus OMD E-M1X, and I'm really excited. I've never shot with the micro four thirds sensor before, and this body is just amazing. It's got so many really cool features to it. So I'm going to test it through all kinds of stuff. The first thing I'm going to do, because it is daylight out, is take it to try to find some of the fox dens that are around our neighborhood and test out this lens right here. So this is their 300mm lens, which is equivalent to a full frame 600mm lens. And the weight, like this one's super heavy and clunky and has okay image stabilization, but not really the best. So there's a lot of features on this little this little guy that I'm looking forward to using. So that's what today's video is about, is testing out the E-M1X with some wildlife. You might think that this is a real heavy camera. It does have that vertical grip, kind of like the Canon 1D series and the Nikon D5. But I'm walking around with it on a little like handheld tripod, and it's not that heavy at all. I'm interested to see, because I am not walking very gently, how the image stabilization does, and if there's any weird warpy stuff in the corners. Right now I'm using the 12mm 2.0 lens, and it is not image stabilized, so we're just relying on the stabilization that comes in body, but it should be really good. And I have it on all manual settings except for the ISO, so when you're seeing the exposure change, like I just hopped into this darker car, it's the ISO going up and down. So all right, time to find some foxes. So our first couple of fox dens were a bust. I think it might just be out a little bit too late in the day. I know they're more active closer to sunrise, but the kits are getting a little bit older, so they're kind of active all during the day. So I'm gonna drive around to one more fox den, then I think I'm gonna head up to a osprey nest. And there's a bunch of ponds around there, and I might be able to get some pictures of them scooping some fish. So that is option number 2, is getting some bird photos. All right, so we found our ospreys. There's one sitting in the nest and one sitting on the other part of the perch. It's an old telephone tower, so there's a nest here, then over here just the wood that they hang out on. So I am going to grab that 300mm lens and the 2x converter to test them both out. And yeah, I'm gonna go get some bird pictures. So I'm gonna leave the little lens and the microphone here, and I'll be back to let you guys know what I think. I'll probably take some video of these guys too to test out that image stabilization. Yoo-hoo! So I've got to say that I'm already blown away with this camera. For reference, my usual setup is the Canon 80D with the Tamron 150 to 600 G2, which is a very nice setup. I've gotten amazing photographs out of it. But this system makes capturing those amazing photographs so much easier. There's two main things that I've already fallen in love with. One is the EVF. It gives you the ability to see your exposure as your sensor sees it. With the regular DSLR, you see your exposure as your lens sees it, but not how the photograph is actually going to turn out. And with the EVF, there's a histogram displayed in your viewfinder, so you know exactly where your shadows are, where your highlights are. So that's amazing. And the other thing that I absolutely love is the focus tracking with this mirrorless system. So I have it on the center point autofocus with tracking. So I put the box on that osprey's head, and then I can reposition my composition. I can reset my composition, and that box stays on the osprey's head. And if the osprey moves, it follows it. It just gives you so much confidence that you are nailing the focus. And then also the ability to review your images in your EVF. It's super bright out. I'm shooting at like 11 o'clock midday sun because I'm an idiot. So I can look through the EVF and review my photos. I can zoom in on them. I can move it around. I never want to use a DSLR again. This is incredible. We found a bald eagle sitting on this perch perfectly out there. Last time I was here with my 150 to 600, I thought the eagle was a little bit further away than I really wanted it to be. So I'm gonna slap on this 2x converter. Oh, I'm shooting at 1200 millimeters. Before we get out and photograph these eagles, I have to take this opportunity to thank the guy who lent me this gear, Glenn Nicoletti. He's a Olympus rep and one of the most knowledgeable dudes I've ever talked to about cameras and the history of cameras, and especially with Olympus. He invited me over to his house and said, take whatever you want. You can have any body, any of these lenses. So that dude, thank you so much. This is incredible. I'm honored for this privilege of being able to use this gear, and I'm hope I'm doing it justice. So there are some eagles back over here, so we're gonna get our big lens on and take some pictures. Let's see just how stable this lens is at 1200 millimeters handheld. I can feel my arms and hands shaking like crazy, but how's the video? So we have this guy right here sitting on his branch, and over here is the nest with mama, and there's some babies in there. Just waiting to see if they pop out. Yep, there's the baby. See its wing going? I've only seen the one little one, but there might be more in there. One thing I'm really enjoying about this camera is the ability to instantly start taking a video. I don't have to switch modes, I just tap a button that's right next to the shutter button. And now we're recording. What, is he gonna take off for us? Not quite. There you can see, I'm assuming the mom with the baby. We watched Dad fly off a few minutes ago, probably to go hunting. I think there might be two chicks there. One a little bit lower, just down below, I'm not sure. Well, that was cool. I want to show you guys a little bit of where exactly I was shooting from. I put the 2x converter on the 300mm lens, so I'm shooting at a stinking 1200mm focal length, and that much reach for that weight, and I was able to hand hold it. I can't imagine replicating that with any full frame setup. So I was shooting from these rocks right here, and I got the coolest pictures and maybe even cooler video of these eagles that are back there. I think I'm pointing at their nest, somewhere right around there. And the video I just showed you guys was handheld. No tripod used. I'm just standing here being as sturdy as I can and taking that video. So that's incredible. The reason I'm doing all of this is that I'm at something of a crossroads with my camera equipment future. I'm really excited about what Canon's going to come out with the R5 and the R6, and Canon's lenses so far have been great, but they're big, they're heavy, and they're really expensive. The Canon R5 is going to cost more than this body I'm shooting on, and the lenses that can replicate this are $12,000. The lens I was just shooting on is $3,000. So does having a bigger sensor really make up for that price difference? I don't know yet. I haven't gotten my hands on the images, and I haven't really reviewed this video, but one thing I know is that I'll never buy a DSLR again. If I go full frame with the Canons, that's one thing, but mirrorless is the way for sure. But if I can put this camera on my tracker and get good or great astro images out of it, I might never shoot a Canon again, which is crazy to say, but who knows? I'm really excited. Now I just got back to my first fox den, and they're actually out this time. The mom's running around with her couple little babies, so I'm gonna go take a little bit of video and some pictures of these guys, and I'm gonna end my talking to the camera part of this video now, so I'll just show you what I get here in a few minutes. Thank you so much for watching up to this point, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing my experience with the E-M1X. It's a very eye-opening camera, to say the least. And I've got some more plans to test this camera out at night. There's a full moon coming up, so I'm going to use this in the high resolution mode and see what kind of details we can pull out. So stay tuned for that video. It'll be coming out in a couple of days. And if you could, as always, give me that thumbs up. Comment your questions about this camera, or maybe your experiences, or maybe I'm using it totally wrong and you guys can teach me something. I am doing this all without looking too much into like a user's manual or anything like that, just trying to figure it out as I go. So maybe you guys could actually help me out a little bit with that. Subscribe for more videos, and when the stars are out, I'll see you there.